He just bugled. Smoked him. What a magical morning. Sunday the 17th. Last day of my vacation. So it's been a pretty successful week putting down that good mule deer. Down south of Ben, we're able to put on a stalk every day, but just couldn't get it done. And I was thinking about staying down there, but this 6x7 has been haunting me. So I'm back into where he is and hopefully I can get it done. So I'm just working around a bit of a basin on the motorbike, and I'm just going to do a couple of bugles down into each of the drainages and see if I can get a response and maybe get it done on my last day of vacation. On to the next one. So I've parked the motorbike back there about half a mile, and I'm just going to walk down through some somewhat open fields. Then I'll drop in elevation, get down into the bottom of the valley. There's a area that I think is going to be pretty safe for them to bed in. I want to get downwind, down low, and then start working up that this morning while the wind is still pulling down with the thermals. And then I'll work my way to the top and hunt back down in the afternoon. So full day for my last day of hunting vacation, and if I don't get it done, I'll be the weekend warrior. I just had the big 6x7 come tearing into my bugles. He got to 50, but he was staring straight at me. I couldn't draw back. He's just spooked a little. It wasn't my wind, but he didn't like what he saw. I just bugled one more time and he's bugled back. I blew the bugle and I ran down the hill here and hid behind some trees, but he did the same thing. He came down to come downwind and we ended up face to face. I just needed him to take a step, 2 more steps behind that tree and then come out the other side. And I probably would have had a perfect broadside shot at 40. Alright, while he's still a little bit talkative, I'm going to try and sneak around and get him behind him. Just had him again at 30. I could have probably squeezed a shot through the trees, but he was walking too fast. He's interested, but he keeps trying to circle me. I've got to play this a bit different. Oh. So he's gone quiet. I'm not sure what else I could have done other than go maybe another 20 feet down on that initial. I still smell him on that initial. He just bugled. All right. Okay. Man. Wow. I gotta run. He's just up there. He's at about 40 yards. He's just hung up. If he can come down this trail, it'll be broadside at about 7 or 8 yards. There he is. smoked him. He came out. He came out into that gap just there. I'll put the 40 pin on. I'll watch that arrow sail. I'm just ranging it. It's 36 back there. I guess 40. And I'm ranging that at 36 and it was just a touch in. Probably should have used my 30 pin. But I watched the arrow sail. It looked good and it sounded alright too. So I heard him run from there and he ran up that way. And he took off to start with, but then he slowed down. I'm not sure if I heard him go down, but he might have. I'm up at about the place that I last heard him, and I've marked on X. I haven't found not one drop of blood. There's some fallen timber here, and it sounded like as he was coming up, he was busting some of that. Like I said, I watched that shot go in. That arrow was flying true, and maybe it's a little far back, but I just listened to the video like 5 or 6 times in a row. Just through the shot, you can hear the break and then a pop. So I'm pretty sure it double lunged him, but not seeing any blood is not good. So I'm going to spend maybe 10 minutes just slowly working up through here. So I finally found some blood. And it's right at this dead timber that I heard him sort of busting through. So at least now I've got a bit of a trail. We're expecting some storms tonight, tomorrow. So I've got to find him today, and it's warming up a little, so I'm going to push in. It's few and far between, but I'm starting to see some bubbles, and this is the best bit I've got so far. It looks like I think I can see a little bit. Hopefully he's just starting to open up a bit here. Beyond words. Can barely get my fingers around. This is everything I could have dreamed of. The whole reason I moved to Montana was to chase these guys, and for me to do this solo and my first bull, a pretty solid 6x6. Yeah, I'm a little speechless. I've been walking around this area and I walked down towards the creek bottom and I thought I'd let out a little bit of a bugle, and this guy responded, and he was a long way up the hill. He came down, I came up about 200 yards. We were face on, so we were both going downwind of each other's last bugle. And I couldn't get a shot off there at that 40. He just didn't present. He sort of spooked, ran off, and I cow called him a couple of times and then gave him another bugle, and he went quiet for a bit, and I heard him again, and he'd run up back to where he was originally. So I hustled around, got more side hilled, and just let out the nastiest bugle I could. And so I ran up the hill about 40 yards and then slipped off to the side about 15. And I could see him coming down, and I was like, oh shit, I'm out in the open here. So I snuck back into the trees a little bit off to the side there. And he came down and presented at 40 and stopped in the narrowest of windows. I had to shoot about a foot wide, lobbed it in at 40. Man, super pumped. If you're getting something out of this channel, please like and subscribe. It helps me out. I'm going to take care of this guy, field dress him, get the meat on ice, and probably be here till night time. I'm 10 miles from the truck. Anyway, bloody magic.